In the world of politics, where power is the ultimate prize, one name has echoed through the centuries: Niccolo Machiavelli. His ideas have been both praised and condemned, misunderstood and revered. But who was Machiavelli, and what was the true meaning behind his most famous work? Today we dive into the life and legacy of the man who forever changed the game of power. Niccolo Machiavelli was born in 1469 in Florence, a city-state that was the heart of the Italian Renaissance. Florence was a place where art, culture and politics intertwined, and Machiavelli was born into a time of great change and turmoil. From a young age he was immersed in the political dynamics of his city, where power was as unstable as the alliances that formed it. In his early 30s, Machiavelli became a diplomat for the Florentine Republic, serving under the volatile and ever-shifting political landscape of Italy. For nearly 14 years, he was involved in high-stakes negotiations with kings, popes, and mercenaries. But in 1512, his world came crashing down. During his exile in 1513, Machiavelli began writing what would become his most famous work. Written as a guide for rulers, this treatise was unlike anything that had come before it. It was cold, calculating, and devoid of the idealism that characterized many other political writings of the time. But wasn't just a book, it was Machiavelli's attempt to regain favor with the Medici rulers. He dedicated the work to Lorenzo de' Medici, hoping to demonstrate his value as a political advisor. Yet, what he produced was something far more profound: a manual on power that continues to be both revered and reviled. Key Ideas is infamous for its pragmatic approach to ruling. Machiavelli advised rulers to be both ruthless and cunning, arguing that the ends justify the means. To maintain power, a ruler must be willing to deceive, manipulate, and even commit acts of cruelty if necessary. Machiavelli also introduced the concept that a prince must be both a fox and a lion, wise enough to recognize traps and strong enough to defend against enemies. He believed that it was better for a ruler to be feared than loved, if one could not be both. These ideas were shocking at the time and remain controversial even today. The debate: realist or villain? Was Machiavelli a cold-blooded villain, or simply a realist who saw the world as it truly was? This question has fueled debates for centuries. Some argue that was a satire, a critique of the very tactics it describes. Others believe Machiavelli was a keen observer of human nature, who understood that in the brutal world of politics, morality often takes a back seat to survival. Machiavelli's writings challenge the notion of idealism in leadership, forcing us to confront the darker side of power. His work suggests that sometimes, to achieve great things, one must be willing to step into the shadows. The legacy of Machiavelli. Machiavelli's influence has stretched far beyond the politics of Renaissance Italy. His ideas have shaped the strategies of countless leaders, from tyrants to statesmen, and have even permeated the corporate world. To this day is studied in universities, debated by scholars, and referenced by those who seek to understand the nature of power. But with this influence comes a heavy responsibility. Machiavelli's teachings remind us that while power can be a force for good, it can also corrupt, leading to tyranny and suffering. Conclusion. Niccolo Machiavelli remains a figure of fascination, his name forever linked with political cunning and ruthless pragmatism. But whether you see him as a villain or a visionary, his insights into the nature of power continue to resonate in a world where leadership is as complex as ever. As we reflect on Machiavelli's legacy, we must ask ourselves, what does it mean to lead? And how far are we willing to go in the pursuit of power? If you found this exploration of Machiavelli intriguing, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more content, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, remember, history has much to teach us, if we're willing to listen.